Samsung Galaxy S22 Pro, I believe it's going to be called, according to the rumors. We've had some early leaks from OnLeaks as well as Ice Universe, and we've got some detailed renders based on schematics of the new Samsung Galaxy device, which is reportedly going to be coming, January time, if we base it on the S21 released last year. Firstly, apparently it's going to be called the Pro instead of the Ultra or whatever we call it. That's the number one thing. The second thing is the camera module design. So it's like from what we're seeing in the initial renders from OnLeaks, was a bit of a P-shaped camera design, which was unique. I'll give it that. I wasn't so sure about it. I actually quite like the design that they have right now, with the camera module kind of blending into the side. And then Ice Universe kind of said, no, that's not what it's going to be like. It's actually going to be two rows, one row of 3 and one row of 2, right? So then OnLeaks went ahead and, kind of adjusted the renders to kind of show us what it might look like. Okay? That's the first thing. So the first thing I'm going to ask you is, that P shape or that dual line camera module setup, what are your thoughts about it? Because to me, it's like, it looks different, but I know these are early renders, but to me, I still prefer what you've got on the S21 Ultra. I quite like that design.
I mean, yeah, I do like the S21 Ultra design, but if it gives me my S Pen within the device, I could care less.
He doesn't care what the camera looks like, and that's moving on to the next feature. That's rumored. What we can see from these renders is that the S22 Pro, supposedly, if that's what it's going to be called, has an S Pen enclosed within the device. Okay. Now, one of the big things that we fed back on, I would say, as reviewers on the S21 Ultra was, okay, great device, one of the best in the year, right? Nice to have the S Pen functionality. It's nice. However, you need to have some form of a case, which is not the most ideal way to have it, to house the S Pen, because otherwise, where are you going to keep it? The thing that we loved about the Note was, yes, it's got the S Pen, but guess what? I can just put it in the device itself. It's always there, regardless. I pop it out, job done. I can I could write on the screen. So convenient. That's something that was, quite missing when they introduced the S Pen to the S21. Yeah. Now it looks like they're actually they're going to include it with the device, or maybe for the Pro version, the S22 Pro, the one that they're calling it. Maybe the S22, S22 Plus won't have that. Maybe the Pro will be the only one that's going to be with the S Pen. Question is, does that mean the Note series is goodbye? It's now merged with the S series? Is that what it means? Mm-hmm. Because yes. we obviously have not had a Note device this year, and it's been quite upsetting that we've not had it. Now, we had the S21 Ultra, which was cool, and it still is a really good device, and it still lives up even 8-9 months on. However, it's not a Note.
All right. So when we look at the history of the Note has always been the device that pushes a lot of innovation for Samsung. It was the one with the pen. It got the better display. It got the better functions, processor, camera, and then at some point it changed to the S line. And the Note has always been kind of lagging behind a little bit until, I would say, honestly, the Note 20 Ultra from last year was the one where at least we got the LTPO display, even though we had that compromise there and a few other things. But it still had a smaller battery. So the idea of the Note has been slowly diminishing, and it makes more sense for the Note to now be that Pro device. Pro in productivity with the S Pen, Pro with the Pro cameras also would be good. And, just giving that extra stuff, all the extras in there. And then you now have your foldables as your second segment, and maybe your third segment is literally just the FE line. That's the ultra budget or the budget cool Samsung line. And I think that's where their three pillars might stand.
I totally agree. Over the years, we've seen the S line and the Note line kind of become so similar to a point where people just refer to the Note as an S with the S Pen, right? So like last year, a lot of people were like, yeah, that's like an S20 with an S Pen, right? That's what a lot of people were saying. And my comparisons between the S line and the Note line get so many views because people are so confused as well. Because there's that confusion. Which one shall I buy? It's not just the S Pen. Why should I go with the Note instead of the S? Now, if they kind of put that together into one device, right? Maybe it is the Pro device, right? So you have the S22, you have the S22 Plus. That's all well and good. But hey, if you want the Pro, you get all of the Pro features. You get the S Pen, you get all of these, you get the Pro screen, you get all of these features. And then you're right. You kind of, now that they've got this new category of foldable devices with the flip and the fold, right? That kind of brings it in a separate category altogether. And that's kind of their devices for the second part of the year, right? Because Samsung always has a device early in the year, for everybody to get on, and then one close, like halfway through the year. So then that's for everybody for the rest of the year, right? So yeah, I agree. I think it's, it wouldn't be saying goodbye to the Note. Realistically, it's not like you're saying goodbye to the Note, because even if it's not called the Note, technically it is a Note, right?
Yeah.
And
I think it fits for both parties in the sense that even if you don't want the S Pen, because now the S Pen is housed internally, fine. You never may take it out until, you need it once. But again, it's not something like the S21 Ultra where you go, it supports an S Pen, but I don't have to buy that extra pen.
It's neither here nor there, right? It's neither here
exactly.
nor there.
There, it's housed for your needs whenever you need it, and it may be once, it may be never, it may be all the time.
Yeah, I actually like that idea, and I think if that does happen, then I'll, as a Note fan, as a Note user, I'd be pretty happy, because that would solve my need for having a Note device. It's just going to be named differently, but I think from Samsung point of view, it will make their messaging and their product line a lot clearer. I hope you enjoyed that clip. If you want to hear the full podcast episode, then that will be linked down below. And if you want to see more clips like this, then be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss them. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on SuperSaf Speaks, and I'll see you next time.